All right, good Friday morning, Prime Associates. How you doing? Today is Friday, July 29th, 2022, the last Friday in July. Hopefully the temperatures start cooling down a little bit, but then we get some rain. That would be nice, at least around these parts. But anyway, just want to welcome you to a Prime Safety meeting. And it's more than safety. We got, maintenance. We'll have a bunch of good speakers today as well. And we'll get, if you have any questions, make sure you holler at us. Let us know if you have questions. That's important. So this morning, I'd like to take it up to Salt Lake City to begin with. Let's go out there, see Mr. Troy Rich. You with us, Troy?
Morning. Good morning. How are you?
We are doing good. I like that yellow vest on you.
You know what? It's kind of a good day, kind of a bad day. I came out and I got my PSD gear on, and I'm going to go out. I'm going to, learn about trucking and, do some backing. And they told me I'm not qualified. Did you know that you can't just come in here and think we take any old schlub off the street? You have to be qualified to come and work here as a PSD student. Did you know that?
I'm glad you figured that out, Troy. You're getting there, buddy. We're training you slowly.
Yeah, I mean they have to pass the CDL exam. They have to pass background checks, drug checks. They have to have good work history. We don't take just anybody. These guys are qualified. These guys are here and serious and ready to work. So they won't let me do it.
That's probably a good thing. We only got so much equipment, Troy, and we need to take care of that equipment. So tell us what you got coming up out there in Salt Lake.
Well, next on the 20th, coming here, we have our annual picnic that we do that we haven't been doing recently, but we're going to start again this year. We're going to have our summertime picnic out here on August 20th. And it's a good day. We come out, we have, there's all kinds of food vendors here, food trucks that we have. We do bingo. We have giveaways. We give away all kinds of stuff to drivers and we do drawings and stuff. So we have a hell of a time out here. Good time.
Do you call the numbers on bingo?
I am the bingo man. Yes, sir. Yeah. And somehow I always, one of my kids wins something once in a while. But no, I do call bingo every year, and we try to keep it alive. And, I'm kind of shy, so, it's kind of hard for me to do that, but we have a good time.
Yeah, kind of shy. We can tell that real quick here, Troy. Hey, you got a dunk tank? I was hoping you'd be involved in that as well. You'd be sitting up there on that little ledge, and somebody could throw the ball and knock you in.
Listen, I look good in a wet T-shirt, buddy. I tell you what.
Okay, time to move on. So, hey, Troy, if you got any questions out there this morning, let us know, man. Appreciate you.
Will do. Thanks, buddy.
All right, let's go out east to Pittston, Pennsylvania. We have Mr. Rick Iffert.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're one step away of doing the YMCA out there. Some guy has arms going. I saw. That's good.
We had a great crowd this week. Good class this week. 42, I think, was our total this week. And these folks are ready to go to work. And you can't say enough about them. Great bunch of group.
That's good. I know they had to go through a big process, just what Troy brought up, and it's great we have them. And, it's going to be a heck of a career for them, we hope, and we'll do the best to get them there. So that's good, Rick. What do you got going on this month out there?
We have a picnic going on here, too. Ours is August 27th picnic, and we also have a Pride and Polish this year. And our picnic starts at 10 o'clock, runs till 4. And of course, we have bingo, we have rides, we have some water attractions. We have a lot of stuff going on.
That's great, man. Anything you're going to be involved in? Do you call the bingo numbers like old Troy does?
I wish I used to, but I picked up Saturdays. I work Saturdays now, so it's kind of hard to do call bingo when you're answering the phone.
That is true. Hopefully you're slow on that Saturday. That's what we are always hoping. So
That's what we hope for is a nice slow Saturday every Saturday.
that's correct. So anything gets any questions you need brought up, Rick, make sure you let us know, man. Give us a holler. Love to get you on the mic.
Hey,
so.
Before you take off and go down that way, we got a new associate up here we want to introduce. So I'm going to hand it off to Rick Yarborough.
Awesome.
Hey, good morning, guys. Can you see us? I don't see us on that screen up there. Can you see us?
Yeah, we got you, Rick.
Okay, well, I would like to introduce Emma. Now, for quite a while, maybe, a year or two now, we've been without a masseuse. So we finally have a new amenity here, a new old amenity. Emma joined us this week. We've already sampled her talents, and she is excellent. So anyone in the Pittston area now who wants to come in for a massage, we have it. Chair massages, 30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute, all kind of massages. What are your hours? Say hello first, Emma.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
What are your hours?
My hours is Monday to Tuesday is 10 to 7. To Wednesday and Thursday is 7 to 3, and Friday is 7 to 3. I mean 10 to 3, 10 to 7.
Anyway, Emma's here a lot, so make an appointment. Emma, it's very nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So yeah, finally, as we're back to that normal thing. Hopefully, we're getting some of our amenities fixed up here, and I'll just give you a quick update if I have time, if you guys don't mind. Across the street, we're getting this building up that has the dog wash, the 3 dog runs. We got some grass put down, some sod. We're getting the fence stretched. So we're getting all these things fixed up for all of the folks who are over here visiting on the East Coast, pulling through the terminal. Getting real busy. It's real hot, but before you know it, we'll have that nasty white stuff flying through. So make sure you guys start talking to the shop about getting some winter prep done. All 3 locations, just not Pittston. Before you know it, we're going to be doing change, socks, and all that fun winter stuff. Anyway, that's all I had. I just wanted to introduce to Emma. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week.
Hey, Rick, one quick question. You guys do haircut and all that up there too as well, right? Stylists,
oh, yeah, absolutely. We have the salon here. Marion does the haircuts, the styling, and all that pretty stuff, and manicures, pedicures, and we have all that stuff. Store, fun stuff.
That's awesome. All 3 locations we offer that, so that's great. So thank you, Rick. And if anything comes up, let us know, man.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
All right, back here in Springfield. Good morning, everyone. All right. So this morning I got up here with me Steve Field, our safety director. Good morning. I'm Dave White, and I work in the safety department as well. So welcome to our Friday morning meeting. Especially a big shout out to all of our new folks here and that's going through their first week of orientation. This is something we do every Friday morning. We always have our Friday morning meetings, and love to hear from drivers and ways we can improve. But more importantly, we love seeing the new folks coming through. And this is a great career. So if you're new to Prime this week, and this is your first week of orientation, if you could all stand up at all 3 terminals, love to give you a round of applause. All right, Steve. So we got a little something coming up too as well.
We do, Dave. Finally.
Yes, finally, yes. So after a 2-year hiatus, and we won't bring up that word because we don't want to jinx anything, but yes, Friday, I believe it's September 2nd. Yeah, Friday, September 2nd. We're going to have our truck driving championships. Yes, back again. It's going to be the start of our Prime Picnic here in Springfield. If you're a driver out there, if you could hit all 3 terminals, you could hit the 20th in Salt Lake, and you're lucky enough to get the 27th in Pittston, and then you get back here on the 2nd of September, you could hit all 3 picnics. And our picnics were, it's been too long. We've been too long away from them, and just can't wait to get back to them. So truck driving championships on September 2nd, along with the Pride and Polish. You want to see some beautiful trucks, Steve. This Pride and Polish, our operators do it right. And Rick does it up at Pittston. They do. They shine them up. They put chrome polish all over them. make them look nice and pretty, and we get to go through them. You get to get up inside and look inside of them, and obviously they get judged, and there's awards handed out as well. So great time here, truck driving championships. We actually get to pick our team for next year for the state competition here in Missouri. This year, I've got two drivers, or well, I shouldn't say we have two drivers here at Prime. They're going to nationals in Indianapolis here in another 3 weeks or so. And Dwayne Grimm on our reefer side and Scott Fisher on our flatbed side. No, they'll be heading out to Indianapolis competing at the nationals. And the reason is because they started here at the Prime Truck Driving Championships. They were able to qualify there. Then they went to state and they're able to win the state. So they're really good drivers. And now they're going to nationals. And 3 years ago, Scott Fisher was at nationals. And he finished 5th out of 47 drivers on the flatbed side. So Scott's a heck of a driver for us, and he'll be going back, and hopefully he finishes higher than 5th this year. But just the best of luck, because it's great competition, and the TDC does make our drivers, there's no doubt, a better operator and much safer. You're aware of what's going on around you, and you're watching what's going on. And because that's, in order to qualify, you cannot have an accident. And that's any type of accident, preventable or non-preventable, if you want to compete at state. So love to have as many as we can, even if you're new, just so you have a CDL at the Truck Driving Championships here September 2nd. You can participate. Doesn't matter if you've been here 6 months, 8 months, 5 years, or 15 years. Love to have you participate. It's right out here on our training pad. John Blancett and the cafeteria staff, they do a great job. They'll be cooking up food out there, all kinds of hot dogs and burgers and you name it. Probably be some ice cream out there too as well, and have a good competition. And then Saturday morning, Steve, that's when we kick into the picnic part of it for the family.
Finally, picnic's back.
There you go. And we'll have, just like everybody else, we'll have bingo and all kinds of neat rides for kids and water rides and you name it. And our bingo, some of the prizes, and hats off to our great vendors back here in the corner, because many of them provide our prizes for us. And there's some neat stuff that can be won there. And I know I'm never too fortunate winning a thing. I've tried year in, year out. My boys have won a couple of things, but I can never win on that bingo card. So I don't know how Troy does it out there in Salt Lake, but that's the way it goes. What's up, Mr. McCoy?
The key word you mentioned there was kids and sons. These are family events, okay? Your wife, your kids, your uncles, your aunts, your grandma, your grandpa, bring them out. We want to see your family for this. These are family events, and we want to see you there.
Understand, if you live out west, you live in the Utah, Arizona, California, wherever it may be, maybe going to Salt Lake's a little bit easier on you on August 20th. Same thing if you live out east. If you want to have your family meet you at the terminal there in Pittston, 27th of September or of August, have them be out there. And it is a family event, no doubt. Here in Springfield, September 2nd and 3rd. And it is a blast. Kids have a great time at it, and we love seeing drivers bring their families in, and you can get a room over at the Oasis and have a good time.
And Connie just told me that they've got tons of toys for the kids this year. So they've been storing them up for 2 years for this. So the kids are going to be treated very well.
And I can verify that because she showed me pictures that she's had. And then Steve too. I know Steve's seen them as well. And how many toys she has all geared up for this picnic we're going to have here in Springfield. So yes, if you can make it, definitely do so. So anything you want to add?
Maybe a couple things, Dave.
Go for it. Jump in. I've been chit-chatting the whole time, so go ahead.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You know, I'd like to offer my welcome to all the new folks here as well, and certainly our veteran drivers that are here. We appreciate you all. You know, the last couple of years have been a challenge. It's nice to see the picnics coming back, our events coming back, because that really is part of our culture here at Prime, to be able to relax some, and particularly for you folks that are out on the road, that you can take a day and just relax, hopefully with your family. If not, we'll be your family, and we'll just have fun at those picnics. The truck driving championship is really neat. And, you know, I just want to kind of echo something Dave said, you know, to think that we have 2 drivers going to the Nationals. That's pretty neat. The Nationals are, you know, that's where the best of the best are. And there's very, very few drivers there in comparison to the number of drivers that compete all around at the state level. So we certainly wish Scott and Dwayne the best of luck up there. And we appreciate Dave chaperoning them every year, or our drivers up there. This is not the first time we've been to the Nationals. So it's neat to see Prime up there. I do want to mention just a couple of things about safety. A couple of things about safety. Y'all are having a really good week this week. We know how challenging it is out there. I think it probably gets harder every year, whether it's the four-wheelers, road construction, the infrastructure. There's just so many challenges out there. This has been a really, really good week. Probably one of the best we've had this year. So I want to thank everyone for that. We just need to do more of that. We just need to be as safe as possible out there. And that's going to tie into my next topic. We kind of went around and saw the terminals, Salt Lake City and Pittston, and we get a lot of questions. Well, when are you going to build something in Atlanta? When are we going to get something in Florida? How about Denver? I heard that terminal is being sold. Are we going to do something out in Denver and Dallas? And, you know, the answer is it's a challenging time to get property that we want, that's in the right location, the right size, but we're committed to doing that. And, you know, I can't say with certainty what the next property will be. I think I hear Atlanta quite a bit. We have a lot of drivers from Georgia. We have a lot of freight down there, but no, we're not talking about a gravel lot and a little tin building. If we're going to build something, it's going to be impressive, just like the last facility that we brought on up in Manuka. If you haven't been there, that terminal is open to everyone. It was originally designed to support some of our tanker customers, but everyone's welcome to use it. We've got long-term parking there for cars. We've got plenty of parking, secure parking right in the Chicago area there for tractor trailers. And it's a very, very nice facility. So if you have the opportunity, look on your map, see where Manuka's at, and maybe you can find a good opportunity up there to park and just rest. So I think we've got a few other things going on safety-wise, don't we, Dave?
Yeah. So let's talk about some numbers here real quick, and we'll move on after that. But this past week, our DOT inspections, we had 148. 97 of those were clean, so a 66% clean rate. More important, Keith, paid out $9,400 this past week on clean inspections. So we're not, give yourself a round of applause. That's great. Knocking on that $10,000 mark. Last time we had 10,000 was back in March of this year. We had one $10,000 payout. I think it's $10,250 we paid. Before that was 2 years before. So we don't get to 10,000, but we're right there knocking on that door. So let's keep those clean inspections coming in. Couple things I wanted to talk about this morning and just reminders. And, you know, I get a lot of this information when we're sitting down doing safety reviews with drivers. And sometimes they've had minor accidents, backing, hitting parked vehicles, things like that. And a couple of drivers I was talking with today, you know, or this week were, you know, about backing. And I mentioned that you use a goal. And they kind of look at me and was like, okay, so maybe they don't understand. But just a reminder, you know, when you're getting ready to back up, make sure you get out and look. And that's what GOAL stands for, get out and look. And sometimes you got to do that multiple times, and that's okay. I know years ago when I drove, and Steve can attest to this too, when he drove too, many times we go into customers, and when you got to get out and look, and you got to take your time backing in, there are other drivers sitting there looking at you saying, come on. Hurry up. I mean, you could see it in there. Some drivers may be blowing their horns or whatever. Don't worry about them. You're responsible for your equipment. Take your time. If you have to get out 3 or 4 times just to make sure you're straight and you're angling right and in order to prevent hitting something, that's fine. That's what we want you to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, usually over a period of time, you get better at backing, and that's just what it takes. That's what it took me. It took me a long time. I remember learning how to back, and that's just what it is. And I wasn't the world's best backer, but I got pretty good after a while. And it's just getting out and looking and taking your time and making sure nobody's behind you, making sure that pathway to the dock is clean. There's no pallets sitting down there or boards with nails in them that you're going to run over. And, you know, making sure they're ready for you to back into that dock as well, the customer. So, you know, get out and look. Good thing to teach, especially trainers out there. Make sure you use that with your trainees. You know, that's one of the biggest advocacies we have here is that goal. So make sure you use that. A couple other things too. This past week, actually, Steve gave me a week off. So I was thank you for the vacation, but moved my daughter down to Tucson, Arizona from Oklahoma City. So on the way down there, I always notice truck traffic. I always see a lot of prime trucks and stuff. And we're heading down there in a van, got her stuff packed to the ceiling, and got her car packed up too. And it's amazing how many cars, and I say cars, there's a few trucks, but majority were cars. When somebody's broken down, they just stay in that right lane and go right on by them. Even though they have all the time in the world, they can move over to the left. Remember to move over. If there's a broken down vehicle on the shoulder, make sure you move over, signal your intentions, get over, give that person some space, especially if it's law enforcement, wreckers, things like that, because those people out there fixing vehicles. I saw a couple trucks broken down, and the operator's right there on the side of the road climbed up on a steer tire trying to fix his engine. And that's probably not the best place to be, right next to the road. He probably should have tried to been on the other side, but I don't know what he's fixing on his engine. Who knows? And, things like if he was to slip and fall into that highway, you don't want to hit him. And so just a reminder, move over. A lot of states have move over laws, meaning that, hey, if somebody's broken down, you're supposed to change lanes and move. If that lane next to you is occupied and you can't change lanes, then slow down and kind of nudge yourself over a little bit towards the center line just to give them a little space. Something's better than nothing. So, yes, you got a question? John, you want to get in the mic, please? Thank you. Oh, yeah, you got to be on the mic, man. If you're going to ask a question, you got to be live. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, you're talking about gold. You were talking about gold, backing up a truck and a trailer.
Yep.
Start teaching the students how to back up these bobtails too. I don't know if it's just students or not, but I've been hit 3 times just in Springfield a lot.
Okay.
Bobtail,
So, yeah.
look with those bobtails.
That's true. I mean, even bobtailing, and that was their question, when you're bobtailing, you still got to get out and look, and that's true. I mean, get out, take your time when you're backing in, because there's, in the truck, there's so many blind spots, and that's what a lot of people, and over a period of time, you figure that out as a driver, but sometimes when you're new, you don't always know that, and blind spots can, really cause accidents, there's no doubt. So get out and look, even bobtailing, you don't want to hit anybody, even minor accidents, you don't want to be involved in. So, yeah, definitely. That's a good point. So any other questions, comments? Steve, you want to throw anything in?
Sure. Nothing for safety. Any questions for us? I do want to thank you, for all your hard work out there. We recognize that trucking is a challenging profession. I always call it an honorable profession, and I think that's the truth too. Dave and I have been in trucking for a long, long time, and it's really what keeps our country going. It's what differentiates us from a lot of other countries. And, we're super proud of everything you do out there. We just ask you to do it safely, do it professionally. Remember, we are professionals. And as Dave mentioned there, that's a great example, moving over when someone's on that shoulder. You could probably pass 1,000 vehicles without moving over, but that one time that something goes wrong, you're going to regret that the rest of your life. So please just get in the habit of moving left when you come up on someone that's on the shoulder right there. Anything for us? I think we got some good speakers today. We got a safety speaker, don't we?
One thing up
Go
here in
ahead.
Pittston. Hey, you're talking about goal. I have goal stickers at GOAL. You can stick them on your mirror, and every time you back up and look in that mirror, you see that sticker. You know what you need to do. So stop in and see me, and I'll hand them out.
Good point. Yeah, no doubt. And we're getting more here in Springfield. We have run out, but we've ordered more. We're going to get them ordered up. And so we'll have goal stickers as well. And that's a good point Rick brings up. Put them right there on your mirror, then you don't forget. And it says goal right when you're looking in your mirror, getting ready to back up. So that means get out. So no doubt.
Illinois has Scott's Law. If you look it up, it's a move over law out there, and it's really helpful.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of states have passed that law due to people getting killed in accidents on the show, or state troopers too. Then that happens, and they got a really tough job because that's where they live, is out on the highway. State patrol, local police, that's what they do. And so when they pull somebody over, many times they'll come in from your passenger side. They won't even come up on the driver's side now because Keith, can you go back there, please? Because, it's just unsafe for them to be out there on the highway. So go ahead, ma'am.
I have kids that own a tow company in California, and that move over thing, it scares me to death because I see them walking on that side.
Mm-hmm.
So moving over lights, I don't care. Please move over. So
All good points. Thank you very much for your comment. Appreciate it. Man, we're keeping our microphone guys busy today. I like this.
Just a little point on backing to the newer drivers here. You always want to try to do a driver's side backup. There's some places where you attempt to do a blind side, too much trouble. If you can position that truck where you can do a driver's side backup, you're always better off.
Another great point right there. Driver's side back, no doubt. All right, Steve, go ahead. You want to introduce John?
Yeah. We don't have Bill Baining, our security director, here today, but there's a serious issue, and we've been working real hard on it. So we asked John Hardin, our newest safety associate, to come on up here and talk about something that we all need to work on together. So, John?
Thank you, Steve. As Steve mentioned, I'm going to speak on behalf of Bill Baining, who's out in Michigan right now working. So we're going to talk a little bit about cargo theft prevention, which has become a hot topic, especially with the costs of everything going up. Loads that may have been worth $50,000 a year or two ago are now worth a lot more than that. So, there's a lot of incentive for these thieves out there to break into our trailers. So we want to do everything we can to prevent that. So before we get into it too much, show of hands, how many people in here do not have an abloy lock right now? So I've got a couple of questions for just the folks that don't have an abloy lock yet. Does everybody have an abloy lock? How about that? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give away a couple anyway here. So show of hands, when do you need to have a lock on the back of your trailer? Say all the time. All right. Yeah, we'll get this back to her. So
John, does that mean empty too?
Empty, loaded, 100% of the time. Yes, it's a great habit to get into. So, 100% of the time, whenever you're hooked to a trailer, we want you to have a lock on the back of your trailer at all times. So, all right, since everybody has one here, does anybody have a birthday today? Does anybody have a birthday close to today? Right here? All right, here we go. There you go. Happy birthday. So, we recently had a driver advisory board, and security is going to roll out a program for the abloy locks. We feel this is very, very important, very critical that we adhere to this, to protect our customers' freight. We take a lot of pride in being safe. We think you guys do it better than anybody else out there on the road. So whenever, Mr. Waukee and these guys are going out and selling them to our customers, getting you those good rates, they're selling the whole package, right? So they're talking about safety, and they're talking about freight securement and on-time delivery. So what these abloy locks do is it's a big theft deterrent. They can't just come up, snip these things off. So, the more that we get into the habit of using these, the better. So what Prime is going to do in our inbound plaza bay or outbound plaza bay out here, if you have a lock that's not an abloy lock, or anybody that's listening out there, when you're coming through the terminal, you can trade in a non-abloy lock for an abloy lock for a cost of $13.10. It's a one-time deal, one-time offer. So, but if you don't, if you haven't got one, please take advantage of it. And we sell them here in our company store and all the company stores for all the terminals. We sell them at cost. There's absolutely zero markup on them. They're $43.10 to you 100% of the time. So, if there's any questions about this, the main thing is we want to, always park in well-lit areas, stay attached to the trailer. We want to do everything we can along those lines, back in your trailer against a building or a pole, anything that prevents theft, please, when possible. I know it's not possible all the time, but when you can, please do that. But please put these locks on your trailers 100% of the time. And, Doug Tan will be the contact out here if you have questions for that. And anybody has questions now, please let us know.
I don't have a question so much as I have.
Hold on.
Backup on those apps.
Hold on, let's get you on the mic.
It didn't work.
You've been getting away from this, so we'll get you now.
I'm just gonna back up what you said on those alloys and changing the locks from anything else you might have. I've had to pick up, and I'm pretty sure some of the other drivers out here who have been here for a while have to pick up trailers that somebody's left their lock on. And I've got a 50-pound extra torque on my heavy duty bolt cutters. Me and the Hulk could not get that off, who worked in the security booth at the time. Could not get that thing off. We didn't even dent the thin locking bar on it. It would not come off. We had to have the 90 do it with a laser cutter.
Right.
So
And that's
they're worth it.
exactly why we want to use these. And also this adds a layer of protection to you as a driver. So, company drivers are required to use the alloy locks. And, one thing that we always want you to do is, every single load, make it a part of your pre-trip inspection. When you get loaded, you walk around the trailer, take a picture of that alloy lock on the back of your trailer with the trailer so we can see the seal, that we can see the trailer number. And if there is anything that happens to that load while you're in transit, then you're protected by that. Correct, Dennis? So
Yes, they won't be held liable for
any cargo
any cargo
theft
theft
claims,
complaint.
as long as we have that picture, it'll have a timestamp on it. It'll have the seal. It'll have the trailer number. So you can't just go out and take a picture of a lock on a trailer and use it. For the next 3 years, we got to have all that information in the photo, but it's just a level of protection that Prime offers to all of you, in this time where this cargo theft is starting to see an uptick in it. Also, just as a tip, staying away from major metropolitan areas. We have the normal hotspots like Memphis, Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, Chicago, Birmingham, correct. So, those areas we tend to see a higher rate of theft than other areas. So, anybody else have anything?
All right. Oh, one over.
Just a quick point also, if you happen to lose your keys to the lock, you can order a set of keys from the serial number that's on the lock through the store.
Thank you. Very good point.
All right, John. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, John.
No doubt John was a fleet manager. You can tell because he knows everything about locking trailers. So
I don't want.
Oh, go.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to bring up too is it was brought off to me over here on the side. There's two different sizes of alloy locks too. Make sure you get the bigger one. So, yep. Go ahead, Steve.
We shouldn't have to be talking about locks again next year or next week or next month. It's really pretty simple. We always need to have a lock, an alloy lock on our trailer, loaded or empty. Well, why would I have to put one on empty? We really want to confuse the thieves out there. For the most part, they're very lazy. If they go up to a trailer with an alloy lock, we heard you can't cut these with bolt cutters. Let them go to someone with the master lock or no lock. Protect yourself. Let's just always get in the habit. Always, when you have a reefer trailer, have that alloy lock on there. It just really protects you, and it protects our customers. I sit right next to the cargo claims department. I can tell you the receivers are very hesitant to accept freight if it comes in there and the seal's been broken, the lock's not on there. There's just too much stuff going on, and they just don't like to risk it. So don't put yourself in that predicament. So thanks, John, for all that information. And please, everyone, take note of that. What we got next, Dave?
Yeah, let's bring up driver health and fitness. We have Mr. Hancock. 3 weeks ago or so, we had Rachel from Driver Health and Wellness up here, and she was she told us that was our last Friday for a little while. She's going to have a little one, and she looked like she was ready to go, and she did, right?
Just had a baby last week. So yeah, new Prime baby.
Awesome, good deal.
Yeah.
So good for her. Hopefully everybody's doing well.
Well, I appreciate the time today. It's not often that I get to have an exciting guest like I do today. Our drivers are out on the road making money, and you guys are working hard, and it's hard to get you guys in here to where I can really introduce you and really brag on you like I'm going to do this guy. And so last night I was fortunate to get a call from Chris Shepard in Flatbed, and he said he was good with getting routed in. I was going to give him a prize because he had some exciting news to share. And then Chris, can I have you come up here? So Chris, it was in our latest and our first inaugural weight loss competition for drivers that lasted from February to May. And we're really thrilled because he actually won the weight loss competition. And so he started off, what did you start off at your beginning weight?
I was 278.6.
And then by the end of it in 15 weeks, what were you?
I think I was last weigh and was 233.2.
So that's fantastic. Let's give a round of applause for Chris. Hey, Chris, how long have you been working here for?
Just 4.5 years now. I'm going to hit my 5 here in a couple months.
And one of the things is it's hard to be healthy in this industry, as you could probably vouch for.
Very much.
And, looking at this program, what maybe prompted you to get into it to really want to make a change?
I mean, the accountability was really good between you, Rachel, Matt, Judy, Maria, being able to have somebody to, kind of keep you on track. I did it with my father. So having him being able to every day, keep each other accountable, it was really good. But your guys' resources and wealth of knowledge was just up there to where it made it, a lot easier to figure out how to do this on the road.
That's fantastic. One of the hardest things is really just finding the time for this, right? I mean, you guys, I was talking to you on the way down, and sleep's hard to come by, healthy food's hard to come by, exercise, accessibility is hard to come by. So how are you able to fit that into your driving lifestyle?
I mean, it's one of those things, you start small and snowball it. I mean, we only have so much time in the day. And then, for me, I take a 10, and at 10, I'm ready to go. So at 10 hours, I have to get my sleep in. I have to cook. If I have to do some grocery shopping, if I have to work out, if I go on a run, I got to do all these things. So it's really just start small, let it snowball, and it becomes kind of just normal, and you become quicker and quicker at it. So.
Yeah. And then, looking, at your weight loss too, it's one of the things we love to see. And, this is kind of why we do it, is we don't want to see go through a program, lose all this weight, you get healthy, and then you get out of it and you start to go back to old habits. And, talking to you earlier, you've been able to keep your success. You were able to lose that much weight, and you gained maybe 6 to 8 pounds back. Are you continuing to do the things you learned in there? And if so, what kind of helped you the most through that?
I mean, yeah, I still track my macros every day. So I'm not as strict on my macros right now, but I'm still tracking. I try to, log any workouts, all my fitness devices, track what I'm doing. And really it's just, spend that little bit of extra time, track what you're eating, track what you're doing. If you log a workout, you know what you're allowed to eat for the rest of the day. So it kind of lets you, treat yourself when you want to, without actually going overboard. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, he's doing it the right way. And that's what we try to teach in driver health and fitness, is how to do it in a way that fits into your lifestyle, like Chris has taken advantage of here. And we'll have this competition version going every year around the New Year date. And then we also have a version that's not a competition going the rest of the year as well. And so we'll have that going as of right now. You can get on to driverhealthandfitness.com. You can sign up, talk to the DHF staff, including myself. Rachel, our dietitian, will be out the next 6 weeks, but you can also talk to our trainer in Pittston. We'll be able to help you out, kind of guide you through the program. And it's just something that fits into your lifestyle, that teaches you how to manage certain conditions while you're on the road. And as part of that competition version, though, you actually won, grand prize, which you get a pick of prizes that were pretty awesome. And I was really hoping we'd be able to set them up with a real live version of this today, but we got to get you sized up and get the right one for you and everything. And Chris has chosen the bike. So I brought, a symbol of that today with a picture, but he's going to get this. We're going to get him sized up when we get out of here, get you all set up and everything. And then you'll have a collapsible bike to get on the road. You excited?
Yeah, it's going to be, now I just got to figure out how to mount it on the brush guard. So
yeah, there you go. Well, Chris, we really appreciate you really just staying dedicated to being healthy on the road as a driver, to having the success you've had while also living a very hectic, busy lifestyle and an unhealthy industry. So, we really appreciate your time and the effort you put into this program, and for just dedicating yourself to being healthier.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt, and congratulations, Chris. That's fantastic. We've got a lot of stuff like that. And, for our new folks, maybe I'll just talk about a couple of them just for a minute, to have that health and fitness program, because it's important to us that you're healthy. It means you're going to be around longer. You're going to be taking care of your family. You're probably going to be a safer driver if you're healthy. We have our sleep lab that we run here, and I don't want to be involved in that, but there's a lot of people that have sleep issues, a lot of people that Heather and her staff have helped. We've now got a sleep lab out in Salt Lake City as well. And, we've heard a lot of testimony from folks that finally are getting a good night's sleep. We've got a smoking cessation program. We've got a doctor's office downstairs, just a lot of things to make sure that whatever we can do to make your life a little bit easier, a little bit healthier, a little bit safer, we're doing. So, I want to thank Matt for coming up. And again, Chris, congratulations. That's fantastic. It's just so great to hear from someone that, we put the program out, and yeah, if you follow what Matt's saying, it's going to work. And that's just tremendous. And, I would think Chris has probably added years to his life right there. And, it's just it's just a good testament to what you can do if you put your heart to it.
And Steve, the driver health and wellness, we got all 3 locations. So you heard him mention, Matt, Judy, and the Salt Lake location and Pittston and here. That's awesome. So no doubt.
It's really neat stuff. So thank you, Matt. Okay. I'll tell you, during these last 2 years, everyone has had challenges, but I'm not sure any department has had as many challenges maybe as our maintenance department. These guys have just been working incredibly hard out there. We don't get trucks in, then we get trucks in. There's part shortages. They're scouring the country for different parts to make sure we can take care of your equipment, to make sure that you're taken care of. So I want to have Justin Kaufman come up. Justin's been with us a long time. One of his primary responsibility is running our call center, also known as Road Assist. So I'm not sure what your topics are, Justin, so go ahead.
Thank you, Steve. Well, I'm going to start off with, I believe brake checks coming up here, August 21st, 27th. So I just wanted to kind of first touch on doing good pre-trip, en route, and post-trip inspections. That is one way, with the challenges that we have today, obviously parts issues, orders not getting filled, labor issues. If we can be proactive versus reactive, that's what we want to do. I've got a few photos here. One is, first one's the tire inflation light. You've probably seen this before. In most cases on our reefer trailers, it's purple. It's up there at the top. And in other cases, it may be white. So we've got a white light, for example, on our flatbeds, on our tankers, but and then it could also be white on certain reefer trailers. But the only reason I bring up this photo is, it's important that we do pay attention to this light. If you hook up to a trailer and this light is on, we want to make sure that it goes out. If it comes on en route, we need to get pulled over safely within a half a mile. Check your tires and hoses for air leaks. And, obviously, if you need help or identify an issue, we need to reach out to Road Assist whenever it is on and continues to be on, and we'll get a game plan right then and there. We may send road service out to you right where you sit. But that information that you report back to us about any leaks in tires or leaks in hoses, is critical so that we can develop that game plan.
Hey, Justin, we got a question over here.
Go for it.
Justin, are we ever going to get a way to test that light other than making our own leak on the road? We can't test that light. We don't know if it's working or not.
Yeah, the old trailers had a self-check. If the tires are inflated, it is not going to be on. But what I can say is that our plazas are doing a really good job of checking those, as they come through. We're doing the tire inflation PM, and that's part of it. And you may have seen that as we come through here. But we've done a number of tire inflation PMs.
Hey, one more question, Justin, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Lately, I've been getting a lot of trailers where I'm driving and every 10 minutes I'm getting one sensor or another going off on these reefers, primarily tire inflation or a reefer alarm, even though it's correctly set. I bring it last trailer I brought to the shop, and after I left the shop, it was still going off every 10 minutes. What would you suggest to fix that on what we can do on the road?
That's an excellent question right there. And so if you continue to get those alerts, first of all, reach out to your Road Assist advisor, and we'll get a game plan. We'll look back at the history because, sometimes we think we have it fixed or we fix one problem and there's maybe 2 or 3 different problems. So got one of them fixed, and then it's time to get a game plan to get the second one. And so, in that conversation with your Road Assist advisor, we're going to look and see what the temps are doing, what the codes are doing, what the alarms are. And then we'll determine, hey, do we need to go to a shop right away? Do we need to get a plan for it after you empty out, which is, that's somewhat common. After you empty out, especially if it's a live unload, we'll have you go to a nearby shop, take it over there and get it fixed. So, yep. What's that?
We've been getting these messages on work pending on a trailer. It comes across on the Qualcomm. Is there any action from the driver for us to take? Do we just bring it in, or we just?
Depending, and I'll have to look at and see what work pending. There are pending campaigns and things like that we're taking care of in our bays. So most of that information will be taken care of, in our bays, or we'll get a game plan, whenever you see it. Yeah, I'll have to take a look and see whether it's a campaign. It could be a campaign that's on the trailer. That's what some of the work pending messages are. But good feedback.
So I know on our flatbeds, a lot of us don't like bringing them into the terminals because they're always need work and all that. So a lot of trailers we pick up, the hoses are, starting to chafe or leak. Is it an idea for us to maybe keep a couple of hoses also for the reefers or so that we can change them on the road, or is that an option, or how would that work out?
I know we've made some hose changes, as far as on the reefer side. We moved over to Tire Max product. I would hate to keep a hose on every single truck and not be able to use them. So I think that's one thing. But it is good feedback, and then maybe we ought to take a look and see how many hoses there are, and what our avenue of repair is. What I will say is, obviously, make sure to check them, tighten them up, and we can get a game plan to get it fixed, I guess. So, and if it does fail. All right, so moving on, tires is another big part of that. So, most of you know that steer tires require 430 seconds of tread in every major tread groove of a steer tire, and drive and trailer tires require 230 seconds of tread in every major tread groove of a driver trailer tire. So, what we're looking at for a major tread groove is anything with a wear bar on it. So for example, on a tire, on a steer tire, that outer groove is the decoupling groove. And that, if we move on to the next photo, here's a tread depth gauge. Move on to the next photo. You can see that decoupling groove in that half moon wore off where there's 30 seconds. And what I'll tell you is that the DOT does not count that as a major tread groove on the outer edge. You'll see that a lot with our Eco FM trailer tires as well, where it's got the decoupling groove, and it'll be wore past that groove. So what counts as a major tread grooves are those grooves that have wear bars in them. So, I just wanted to point that out because we oftentimes try to get upsold at tire shops for new tires that don't really need to be changed. And here's a flange axle gasket leaking. Obviously get photos of that, send that to Road Assist. If you run low on oil, that is not a good deal. You could potentially burn up a rear end. So we want to make sure to get an action plan for that. Here's a leaking wheel seal, and you can see the brake shoes are covered. Obviously DOT, FMCSA says that we need at least 1/4 inch of brake shoe pad, in the center of the pad. So, we want to make sure that we're looking at those brake shoe pad thicknesses. Obviously this is something that you'd want to get a photo into Road Assist and get a game plan to get fixed for sure before brake safety week. Here's a picture of a broken bottom rail. This is something that, obviously there's a lot of questions, but is this good to roll or not? And this is not. This is definitely something that you'd want to stop everything and get photos, send them into Road Assist. As you can imagine, if that trailer is loaded with, 34 or 40,000 pounds of freight, that trailer going down the road will be flexing with that weight in it, right? And that is a major beam on those bottom rails. So the top rails are also just as important. Top rails, the front part of the trailer, the back part of the trailer, and those rails are incredibly critical. So, whenever you see this type of damage, and even any cuts that go all the way through multiple posts, that is a stop everything, photos to Road Assist, get a game plan, get a temp repair, transload type of a scenario. And I just thought I'd point out jumper cables. We have on the back of our trucks, we have jumper posts, and these are incredibly valuable. If we run across a reefer that we can't get fired up, you can hook up any 2 to 4 gauge jumper cables. So, we ask that you have heavy duty jumper cables, with larger copper wire. And so that'll help obviously get those batteries charged up a little bit quicker. But, it could take 30 minutes to, a couple hours depending on how dead the battery is. But we sell these jumper cables in our company store. They're the heavy duty ones. I actually have a pair myself, and highly recommend that you have them. But you can jump start your reefer. You can obviously help charge your truck batteries, but very, very valuable. I believe that is the last photo. So just a couple things, lots of really great questions about alerts, alarms, tire hoses. This week we had our driver advisory board meeting, always a fabulous meeting. We get a lot of good feedback. There's been a ton of good things that have come out of it. One of those is the pro maintenance class. And how many people here, or has anybody in here taken the pro maintenance class? Raise your hand. 1, 2. All right. We got a lot of folks. Good work. We've had, I think, 300 associates go through that class since the beginning of the year. For those of you who don't know about it, what it is one, it teaches you about the value of doing repairs yourself. Whenever we do have issues with night and weekend labor out there on the road and just kind of across the board, you don't want to sit at a truck stop for 6 hours waiting to get a mud flap changed out. So, if you have some tools, you can change out that mud flap, you can clean, you can prime your reefer, clean the fuel screen. What's that? Yeah, light bulbs. Yeah. Light bulbs. So, so there's first, just kind of a classroom environment piece to this class. So it's about an hour long. And then there is a hands-on portion, which is really cool. So we've got certain stations. We've got a full reefer unit, for example. We've got air filter housings. We've got fuse assemblies, fuse boxes. We've got a slider tandem in there as well. We've got brake assemblies. So we walk you through these certain stations. We'll give you the tools. We'll show you how to do it. Do some of these repairs yourself. It's been very, very valuable. And we were teaching this class over here at the new plaza. The classroom part was a little noisy with the tire folks over there working. So we recently, in the last couple of weeks, we moved it over to the C5 classroom over at the campus inn. And classroom environment, we're also going to have access to a lot more operators to be able to go through there, which is going to be good. And soon, in the very near future, it'll be rolled out in Pittston, Pennsylvania as well. So about 3 or 4 weeks. So at any rate, highly encourage you to take that class. I think if I were to leave on one more note, or maybe a couple more notes, but this time of year, summertime, we sometimes start to forget about that bunk heater in the back of our bunk, right? Because we're using the APU, we're using the AC of the APU. Make sure that you're turning that bunk heater on at least 20 minutes a month, firing it up so that whenever you do need it, in the winter months, it's good to go. It keeps everything, moving, all the fuel flowing, and it doesn't gum up or carbon up. So, that I wanted to mention. Then also, we have an array of support if you're having issues. Out here in the back, we've got all of our vendor reps. Back here, we've got Chad Taylor. Chad, stand up. Chad's our international rep, on-site international rep. If you drive a international, he's your man. Have a cell number. See, we got Van Gertner back there somewhere. Van Peterbilt rep. So, he's working super hard. All these folks. Jeff Wara, you back there? All right. Freightliner rep. So these folks are working hard every day. If your truck's in the shop, to get parts shipped in, overnighted, get them pull off of new trucks, wrecked trucks, get crosses. And not only that, but find the right shops for your trucks to go in. So, if you have any type of repeat issue, obviously start with your road assist advisor. If it gets to a point where, it's a challenging problem, then we're going to escalate it to the reps. So, anyway, appreciate it. And I'll be around here after the meeting if you have any questions. Yeah. What's that? Oh, good question. So it was 8 to 11, and now we have moved it to 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it's 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday over here at the campus.
Super, Justin. Appreciate all that information. You know, the call center, the Road Assist guys, they're super knowledgeable, but they're just part of the support team that you have out there. Make sure you know who your folks are. You know, you've got your payroll advisor, you've got your log advisor, you've got your Road Assist advisor. Of course, you have your fleet manager, all of them working together with really the goal of making sure you're successful out there. It's not easy out there, but we put together, I believe, what are fantastic teams to support you, to make sure you have what it takes to succeed out there in that challenging profession. A couple of things before I pass the mic to our final speaker. If you got a smartphone, I hope you have the Prime app on it. If you're struggling with the app or something doesn't look right, if you see Brianne and Richard over here to my right after the meeting, they can help you with that app. It's an amazing tool. It's just incredible what that app can do and what you can do with just the app on your phone. And the second thing is, I always enjoy doing this. It's always an honor for me too. If you served in the armed forces, if you defended our country, would you stand so we could recognize you today, please? Thank you all. You know, we have so much to be fortunate for here. You know, we've got a fantastic company. Business is good. You know, we've got COVID behind us. And, you know, we've got one more thing really to be thankful for here. And that is that we've got an owner that's truly tuned in to our company. I'm going to bring Robert up here. Robert started the company 52 years ago, and he's still here with us, making sure that all of us are doing our job to take care of you. Robert?
Thanks, Steve. I want you to share those kind words with my wife. I'm not sure she's quite as much in agreement as she ought to be on that, but good to see you all. Thanks for what you're doing. You know, we're getting on through the summer. It's almost the 1st of August, right? It's gone unbelievably fast. Or is it just me? Man, it seems like it's spinning on by. It won't be long. We'll need to get ready for those icy roads. Hard to believe right now in this heat, but it's coming, folks. You know, we're doing good. We are in a bit of a transition in the economy. You know, we'll be doing some shifting. We'll do some shuffling, but we have a great team. We haven't caved on one rate yet. We got a little bit of pressure. We're saying, look, we have a great service. We have a great team of drivers that do a fantastic job. You know, I think like Tyson last week, it was 1,800 loads, 97% on time. And, you know, they don't have another carrier that can touch, you know, those kind of numbers. So when you're delivering on time and picking up on time and getting them there safely, claim free, and that goes a long way. You know, a little bit in the rate, a little bit more in the rate. And we admit, you know, usually we're a little bit higher than the competition. But does anybody want to be cheaper? Anybody in here want to be cheaper? No, I even like to make it a little bit higher than it is, right? Shippers are probably cussing me right now, but you know, they know they're getting a good deal. They're getting value here. And you all make that happen. You all and, you know, a great support team behind you. So I'd like to take this opportunity just to thank you for what you do every day. A lot of sacrifice involved. You know, it's been a hot summer. You know, this is like, you know, kind of an outdoor sport. You just can't sit in that cab all the time. You know, you got to get out, you got to walk around, you got to look at things, you got to take care of business. So, you know, it's kind of uncomfortable from time to time, but you all have done a fantastic job, and I thank you for that. God bless each of you, and please be safe out there.
Thank you.